Alright, I'm trying to clear this pile. This log is just too big to move, so I've got an Alaskan mill, and I'm going to try and make big fat boards out of it so it can be usable wood, and then I'll be able to move the log. Too bad I started cutting it into rounds for firewood, because otherwise it would have been a lot more valuable, so I took a lot of wood off. Whoops. So you might notice here, I have the Husqvarna 372XP, and on it, I actually have a bar made by Steel chainsaws. I got it from a yard sale. I was told they were totally interchangeable. They weren't. I made a video on how I modified the bar, and now it's on. And I believe this chain is actually for Alaskan milling. So, you know, I kind of just took that guy's word on that too. So let's hope I wasn't bullshitted twice. Either way, I decided to make a little product video. This is the chainsaw I'll be using for the Alaskan milling. I always heard a lot about Alaskan mills. Always wanted to try one out. I never had one. Now my neighbor has one. Apparently she got this for 200 bucks, and it's been in the box for probably quite a while. I'm the one with the large chainsaw with the large bar, so she lent this to me. So I'm just gonna take it apart and maybe I'll assemble it and let you know, because I don't know what the fuck I'm getting into. So, inside this box, we have tape all on the sides. Try and preserve the box so I can give it back to her, or maybe I'll just buy it off her, because she has a little steel MS-170. She's definitely not going to be doing any Alaskan milling with that. It's too small, especially for that log. Maybe you can make a 2x4 out of a small tree. Okay, so by the way, the brand of this is the Holzfforma for the working man. Tools and accessories. So Holzfforma Alaskan mill. In this box, we have a rail of some kind. Another rail. What the fuck is this thing? A bar. Another little T thing. Oh God. I'm going to just read the instructions and get back to you on how to assemble this thing. Because there are like bolts and nuts. This is like a little more involved than I was expecting. I don't think it's outside of my realm of capability, but I'm definitely not going to be assembling it for you right now. The fuck is all this shit? Alright. Ooh, a little bag. There's like a handle here. This thing. Ooh, a little chainsaw tool thing. I already have like a bunch of those. Tiny wrench with 8 and 10 mil. Another piece of metal. A sheet of plexiglass. For whatever reason, I do not know. And the instructions. Tequila, lime, soda. I'm a lot less confused now. I've laid everything out. I was gonna really get to know the numbers and parts. You know, really number the bolts and all the pieces. It's not that complicated. Basically, all the nuts are the same size and everything. So, whatever's going on here, I just kind of follow it. It looks like, you know, I can definitely recognize these pieces. That's them. The ice is gone. So, have to drink that faster. Okay. Alright, it says there's only 8 of these CRG bolts. There's actually 12. I put these bolts in there in 3 spots. These are the bolts. And then I'm also gonna put them in there. And then go ahead and fasten this piece on top where these 2 bolts lie. And then grab this guy, throw it on the top of there. I can see how the bolts are gonna go in. More of these CRG bolts. Kerg. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, next step up, you can see it's coming together, following the diagram, starting with these rails. I find it interesting, this one appears to be facing out, and then this one is too. I would have assumed it was the other way, but you can see this hole will line up for the long rail. I put it in the wheelbarrow. You'll also know I've cleared a little space to because I see that these things are alike and will be fastened on together. Same with these 2, they are alike and will be fastened on together. So this allows me to start with this. So really, if I knew what the fuck I was doing, I would have just started right here. Alright, every one of these gets a washer. You can see the washers. I think it's a washer and a nut. Alright, on will go these things. Boom, boom, with this in between. These ones on this side, and this handle should have gone with these bolts. So I'll do that. Alright, something to note that the bolts here are kind of shown to come in through the top here, but this is threaded and there's no way. So I came in through the bottom, used a washer, and fastened these 2 together. You can start to see that it's gonna like slide up and down on that. I got this in the right spot this time. This will be going like that with the U shape out. And I'm going to put this clamp here and use this U-joint to fix it on. Alright, it's all together. And you can see how I fastened these on. Got the U-joint here with this bracket that fastens that on there. And the measurements are shown here for when you're actually cutting. I'm not sure if that's the right spot because they kind of messed up on the instructions. Anyhow, that's that. Everything gets a washer and a nut. Tried to do something cool with the camera here. Alright, that's it. It's together. The only thing kind of concerning is that I'm left over with a bunch of bolts here. But in this, they don't seem to show the windshield. I don't really know where to put the windshield. But here it is. So maybe those parts are for this, and this is kind of like an optional extra or something like that. Holzfforma for the working man. Like, where the fuck does this thing even go? I don't know. Silly me. These go in here. Alright, putting it on the chainsaw really enlightened me to what I needed to tighten up. I ended up tightening these first, but you'll figure it out if you get this far, I'm sure. And if you can't, you shouldn't probably be operating a chainsaw. Alright, and this chainsaw got heavy over the last little bit here. I think I'm right installing it this end up. You can see that the mill could accommodate a much longer bar, but 36 inches here, hopefully that can manage that log that I'm trying to mill. And there you have it. The instructions weren't entirely on point. It seems to be pretty good quality. It feels pretty fucking solid. Oops, put it back on there. And yeah, I did it. Oh yeah. This bag's pretty cool because, you know, keeps the tools, the extra screws, and I even put all the bubble wrap that everything came in back in the bag. So, you know, with this, the unused windshield and the box, when I'm done with it, I can just package it all up like brand new as long as I don't lose any parts, and probably sell it for the same thing that I bought it. So there you go. Like and subscribe.